Is San Angelo, Texas the hidden gem of the Lone Star State or just a place to pass by? In this video, we're going to deep dive into the surprising pros and cons of living right here in the heart of West Texas. So a little bit about me before we get started. My name is Hallie McCrory, and I am a local realtor here in San Angelo, Texas. I am the founder and team lead of an expansion team, Empower Real Estate Group, over here. We're powered by eXp Realty, and we run not only in San Angelo, Texas, but also in Dallas-Fort Worth and Houston. So let's start this off on a good note with the pros of living in San Angelo, Texas. Pros, number one, affordable cost of living. So the cost of living in San Angelo is a lot lower than the national average, which means, more purchasing power for residents, especially from a real estate agent's perspective. I used to live in Austin. I've lived here in San Angelo for this April will be 6 years. So April 2024, yeah, that'll be 6 years. It's definitely a big change from living in a town like Austin that is not as much as affordable as San Angelo is, which is definitely very good thing, but in the cons, we'll talk about that too. But just to give you an idea, the median home price here right now is about $250,000. In comparison, when I look in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, it's closer to $450,000. So about a $200 or $200,000 difference there. Definitely makes a huge impact. But for those, who are looking at that, that's definitely a pro for San Angelo. And you will see that with, not only cost of living in terms of real estate, but, just your common goods, restaurant prices, things like that. So definitely something to consider when you think about possibly moving to San Angelo. Number two for pros, very little to no traffic. Anytime there's any traffic, I'm always surprised, and it's usually due to, motor vehicle accidents. So if you're like me and moved here from a city like Austin, where traffic is absolutely horrendous, this is a huge pro. I can usually get anywhere in the city of San Angelo within 15 minutes or less. If you're going from the very end or one side of the city of San Angelo to the other, maybe 20 to 25 minutes. And it definitely depends on the time of day. But honestly, it's awesome to, just not have to worry about not only traffic, but really parking is very accessible. Even downtown, it's usually almost always free. I'm trying to think of anywhere where I've had to pay for parking, and I can't think of anywhere. Even the parking garages downtown, very affordable since it's free. So that's another plus. Number three, cultural opportunities. This is one of my favorite topics to speak on regarding San Angelo. Our city definitely boasts a range of cultural activities and events. We have a lot of diversity here, I'd say. So that definitely, leads to a more vibrant community life. So we do have a lot of different people moving here for various reasons. I think that's one of the contributing factors to having a lot of our different cultural opportunities. So people move here for jobs. We have an Air Force base, so that brings in people from all over the world. And we also have a lot of people moving here for schooling, education purposes. So we have Angelo State University, great nursing program, great business school. So we do get a lot of people from all over the state and even international students as well. So I think that's one of the contributing factors. But getting into more of those opportunities, we have one of the biggest rodeos and well-known rodeos in the world that happens in April. And it's also a stock show as well. But they set up different shops and vendors. We also, I guess in October, there's also a roping fiesta when we just had Eli Young Band come and play at that. So there's concerts that happen. There's a big carnival that they put up. Definitely one of the most fun events that we have in San Angelo, in my opinion. And if you've never been to a rodeo, you're in for a treat. I am originally from North Carolina, and my family still lives there. And I've been able to, bring them out to the rodeo, and they just absolutely ate it up. It's something you really only see in movies or TV shows, like Yellowstone's making it very popular. It's just nothing like I'd ever been to before. We definitely, or I guess growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina, I never went to the rodeo. Austin has a rodeo. I've never been to the Austin rodeo, but different, I would say probably different experience. Like the Austin rodeo has, Cardi B playing these big, I guess Jake Owen is another one that I can think of that they'd have play. It's more, I think, like mainstream rodeo, and this is more like true rodeo, I'd say. Yeah, it's awesome. The mutton busting's probably my favorite part, where we get to watch the little kids get strapped onto the sheep and they just go nuts and go running around and they hold on for dear life. So that's super fun to do. So yeah, rodeo is one of the cultural opportunities here. We have a big art scene as well. So we have the Chicken Farm Art Center on the north side of town that has a lot of artist studios set up there. A really good restaurant, little Airbnb hotel opportunity there. Downtown has a few galleries. I always love going to Raw Wine Bar, Raw 1899. They have a gallery on the other side of it and always host different artist openings. Very fun. And we also host the End Plane Art Festival every year, where artists come in from all over the world and, do different paintings, drawings, different forms of art, and you get to go around and tour those, which is always super exciting. We also have different designations that we've won or been awarded, I should say, for visual arts, live music. So there is a big visual arts and film festival that goes on, and then live music is always happening everywhere. So that was, coming from Austin to San Angelo, I was glad that stayed around. So I've seen Charlie Crockett here. I've seen Turnpike Troubadours. I've seen Parker McCollum. So it is a lot of like the Texas country, but we've had Nelly here. We've had Los Lonely Boys are from here, and they're going to do a concert here soon. So that'll be another good one. I know we have a big jazz festival as well. So really all types of music artists do come here. But I'd say for the most part it is a lot of up and coming Texas artists, like Texas country, I should say. Yeah, definitely very fun concerts that come here. I think the Nelly one was like one of the more popular ones that wasn't country. But everybody loves a little Nelly. I'm moving on to number 4 pro city. So we get, I guess, trying to word this the right way. You get a good city feel and you can get a good country feel. So if you are one or the other, or like to have a little bit of the both, San Angelo is definitely a good place to live, to get a little bit of, both of those aspects. That's what I personally prefer. So there is, a wide array of restaurants, shopping centers, recreational activities to choose from within the city of San Angelo. We have a big mall. We have, a performing arts center. We have a lot of those aspects, or I guess in like a booming downtown right now. We've definitely put a lot of effort into growing that opportunity. But at the same time, you could drive 20 minutes and be on a friend's ranch, like 300-acre ranch, and go four-wheeling, go hunting, whatever floats your boat. We even have rivers here on the outskirts of the city where you can go fishing. You can go fishing in the city limits and still have that country feel. We have an awesome state park for hiking where you can go camping. So there are opportunities for you to have that city life, but also have the country life too. And even in terms of events as well. We have a lot of, the Taste of San Angelo, or Uncorked is one we had recently, where a lot of the chefs in the city of San Angelo got together and showcased, different culinary opportunities that you can have in San Angelo. So I feel like that's more of a city event. But then at the same time, we have country events too. So like the Junior League of San Angelo puts on a Western dance every January, or the West Texas Boys Ranch, that's another nonprofit here. They put on different, there was a polo tournament that they just put on, or like a clay shooting. Those happen all the time. So there is, if you like to have a balance of city and country, I kind of think of it as like living in between Dallas and Fort Worth. Like Dallas, you can get the city life, Fort Worth, you can get kind of the country life. But yeah, really, it's a good mix of both, and you can go into your niche wherever you can find it. So number 5 for pros. We do have I would say, a booming economy here. People say it's due to having the Air Force Base here. We have a big healthcare and education industry here. There's just people coming from all over for different job opportunities. And like I said, we do have the university here, and I do think our economy is due to a lot of, or I guess I should say, a mix of those items. But I think it's really also, just our mindset. There are a lot of entrepreneurs here, which is nice. If you are an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people to connect with. But yeah, it feels like we're a little bit more padded here than, other small towns in Texas. And just to give you an idea, our population's around 100,000 people, not including all the little towns around San Angelo. So maybe, 125,000 for the Concho Valley, if I had to guess. But we do we tend to stay a little bit ahead of where the economy is nationally. So that's always a good, just good indicator for a town to live in. I will say on that note too, San Angelo was ranked number 10 in US cities where women under 30 can make more than their male counterparts, which is really exciting, being a female in San Angelo under 30. I've got one more year. I love that fact, and that we are on the list for that, on the radar. Not to say that it's not a good place for men to make money as well. It's just, we want women to be equal in that sense. And I think it's definitely celebrated here. Another fact, or I guess I would say maybe my 6th pro, is that we are one of the only cities in West Texas with a lake. We're often known as the Oasis of West Texas. We have people come in from Midland, Odessa, definitely like that region. Far West Texas comes for our lake, which is Lake Nasworthy. This also happens to be where I personally live and have my my personal home here. I love living on the lake. Lots of bugs and critters, I will say that. But waking up and being able to have my coffee on my back porch. Like 4th of July is awesome. People have parades on the lake. It's the best view for fireworks during 4th of July. Just, I don't know. It's a good lake. It's not too much partying. It's not too quiet either at the same time. You can actually swim in the lake too, which is nice. So if you have a boat, there's plenty of public ramps to dock up on. Also, a couple of businesses that offer jet ski and boat rentals. Wakeboarding lessons are big out here too. So, that's a good activity to have right at our disposal here in the city of San Angelo. So those are my 6 pros that I put together for this video. Now we'll dive into the cons, what everybody wants to hear, the tea. So, and I will say, I can't speak personally to some of these cons. These are cons that I've collected in my memory, showing people houses and, just talking about different aspects of living here. But number 1, I'd say limited opportunities for singles. That's something that is complained about a lot, I would say. So maybe not the most stimulating environment for especially younger single individuals looking for dynamic social scene. It seems like people, have their same places that they go to for social scenes. I've been here, like I said, it'll be 6 years in April 2024. It's now November 2023, just for context, if you're watching this back. I've always found there's a lot of places to meet people personally, but everybody's different, but I feel like the only places to really meet people are bars and just alcohol consumption places. So, especially if you're not a big drinker, not really into drinking, it is, I would say, kind of a harder place to meet other single people. But, now we have different apps for that, different websites, like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Match.com. I'm trying to think of other ones, but there are other ways to meet people besides that, in my opinion. So I think you could, navigate around that as well if you really wanted to. Number 2 con, there are a lot of chain restaurants here. That's one of, I guess, my gripes. I think we could focus more on, more locally owned restaurants. While I do love some chains, it's just, I like supporting our local economy and local businesses. I know a lot of those chains are franchises and owned by local businesses. However, I just think it gives a little bit more diversity and culture when it's, more places that are just their own concept, I would say. We did just get 2 new Chipotles this year, which I was definitely happy about that. But, it's a lot of like Taco Casa. We have a couple different McDonald's, a couple Starbucks. I just think there's more room for growth in terms of restaurants here. But the restaurants we do have that are locally owned are very good. Some of my favorites include Pork and Pig, The Grill, Urban Salt. I'm trying to think of where else. Angry Cactus, I go there a lot. 01 Ale House. So there are options. I don't want to say that there aren't any options for, locally owned restaurants, but there just is a heavy presence of chains here. And personally, I'd like to see more locally owned restaurants pop up, and especially a Greek or Mediterranean one. We don't have that. I would love that. So number 3 con, again, this is one I can't relate to since I don't have kids, but a lot of my friends or people, that I interact with on a daily basis complain that there's not a lot of options for things to do with kids. I can think of a couple off the bat, but I think, it sounds like there are things to do. There are activities to do with kids. We have different parks. We have a trampoline park, but I think there's a lack more so of places that parents can hang out and like watch their kids play while they're hanging out. So I know a lot of people like go to Fuzzies here because there's a little like turfed area where kids can play. But that's just one place. Another place that I can think of is Sports Next Level. It's a locally owned sporting complex, but it has a restaurant and a bar. They have a driving range kids and parents can do. So I think that's another good option personally. They have a golf simulator as well that's indoors, which is really nice to have. So again, something not that I can personally speak to. And another one that I can think of too that is very popular with, parents taking their kids and being able to watch them while enjoying themselves is Old Central Firehouse Pizzeria and Tap Room downtown. They've got a big park with like a playground that kids can play on and a back patio that parents can watch their kids from. So that's another option. Number 4 con, this is one I can speak to. We do have a small airport here. It is very easy to get in and out of. That's a pro, free parking. But at the same time, there's only one destination it goes to, which is DFW Airport. So if you're flying anywhere, you're always going to have a connection. Not the end of the world. But the other issue is that we only have one carrier, American Airlines. And I think they take advantage of that because the prices, they can run pretty high. And I think they account for a lot of business travelers. But, I'd like to see another carrier to reduce or maybe add some competition to, play on prices against each other. We did have United at one point, but they started that up during COVID, which was very odd and quickly ended it. That did go to Houston. So we did have 2 destinations and 2 carriers at that time, which was really nice. So a lot of people, including myself, were bummed when United pulled out of San Angelo Airport. If you need to know the airport code to look up information, it's SJT, San Angelo Mathis Field Airport. So I would like to see another carrier come in, someone like Southwest. Would personally love Delta. That's my favorite carrier, but maybe that's something we will see in the future. So number 5 con. One of the hardest parts of living in San Angelo is that we are anywhere from a 2 to 4 hour drive from major metros around us. So closest, I guess, like not even metro, but closest big city is 2 hours to Midland. So Midland, Odessa area going west. So that being the shortest drive is kind of a bummer. So if you're moving here from out of state and coming to Texas, a good thing to know is that people in Texas do drive longer distances than other states that I've lived in. So just kind of a weird thing that I've noticed, or aspect that I've noticed about Texas. So while 2 hours is kind of a far drive, after living in Texas for 8 years, or almost 8 years now, it's really not that bad. We are 3 hours to San Antonio, 3 hours to Austin, or 3.5 hours to Austin, excuse me, 3.5 hours to Fort Worth, and 4 hours to Dallas. And we are about 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours to Houston. That kind of drive, it depends on how often you stop. And we are about 6 hours to far west Texas. So if you're going to doing a road trip to like Marfa, that kind of area, Big Bend State Park, it is a bit of a drive, but it's a pretty one, and I think it's worth it. And this may change in the future because we are getting 2 new highways in the next 10 years. That's kind of their projection on time frame. That's another video I will do talking about the new highways that are coming here. But yeah, that's another con for me. I wish we were a little bit closer to maybe like an hour and a half or an hour from a major metropolitan area. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of San Angelo's brightest charms and its more challenging quirks, for sure. We've seen, how its affordable cost of living and a tight-knit community offers a warmer welcome to newcomers, for sure. I can speak to that from personal experience. But we are, I do want to acknowledge that there are limitations that might not match, living in a bigger city in Texas as well. So whether or not San Angelo's streets call out to you as an oasis of peace, in a busy world that we're living in, or, there's still aspects that leave you wanting more, it's clear to me, and I hope to make that clear to others, that this city isn't just another dot on the map. It's a community with a strong heartbeat, piece of history, and just a complete canvas of opportunities. So if the pros that I've talked about today resonate with you, San Angelo could very well be the next place that you call home. I hope to, welcome you into that. But if the cons give you a pause, it might just be another spot that we hope you visit and appreciate for its own unique Texas spirit. So I'd love to know what would make you, you as the viewer watching, take the leap and plant roots here in San Angelo after this pros and cons list that I gave you. I want to know if the idea of a small town in Texas, or small town Texas life, I should say, makes you ready to ride up in the sunset, playing on the rodeo riff. But yeah, please drop a comment below, share your thoughts. And if you've ever lived in or been to San Angelo, Texas, please tell us your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join us on more adventures in San Angelo and beyond. We'll be doing more of these videos. And again, thank you for watching this. And until next time, keep weighing those pros and cons wherever life takes you.